Hey guys, this is Sfrums, and I just played a 10-minute game against Red Unicorn here on chess.com, and I figured I'd go over it. I realized you can submit one game every week or so to get computer analysis through chess.com, so I just did that, and I have it over on the right side of my screen. So I played knight f3, and he played d5, and I fianchettoed, and he fianchettoed too, and I'm playing a King's Indian attack against his setup, and he transposes into kind of a weird French with the fianchettoed bishop on the king side, whereas I'm just playing a straight up King's Indian attack with my knights on d2 and f3. I'm going to swing my rook and queen to the e file, and hopefully push this pawn to get some space on the dark squares. Now, I moved my rook to e1 not just to get a center control, but to move my knight from d2 to f1 and then probably over to the king side and start generating an attack. He plays bishop a6, threatening something like takes e4, and then I cannot play d takes because his bishop takes my queen. So I push the pawn forward and defend it. Now the dark squares are both kind of clamped down on here on d6 and f6. My knight on f1 really is going to join the battle soon, maybe with g4 and knight g3 or h4 and knight h2. And he should be playing on the queen side, getting as much space as possible, because all my pieces are kind of migrating over to the king side. h4, b5, knight h2, knight b6. So it looks like he's breaking with something like c4 here. And on knight g4, I'm kind of signaling my knight's going to be hopping to f6 or h6 and checking him. I really like if I could get a knight on f6 and just keep it there, maybe force his bishop to take it, and then I get some pawn locked down on f6. That would be pretty good for me, and I'd control the dark squares even more than I already am. h5, booting my knight away. So I throw in, I guess I could probably play something like knight h6 if I really want to, and then maybe queen d2, trying to hold the knight over there. Or maybe just, yeah, maybe I don't even need queen d2, unless he plays king h7, then I might play knight g5, and he cannot play king h6, or I play knight f7, winning the queen. But first I threw in bishop f6, and this was interesting. Bishop g5, I mean, because he could have moved his queen, and then I bring my knight to f6, but he took the knight, I took his queen, he took the other knight, I have to deal with that pawn, and then he took my bishop. So he gets 3 pieces for a queen and a pawn, which is makes the game a lot more interesting than it was about to be. For him, I think. I think I was about to really just like attack his king pretty well. I guard the pawn, he attacks it again, and there's no real easy way to guard it enough times. So I play h5, and as we can see, the computer says he's actually winning here by just a bit. He's not won or anything, but he has a better position. So I have to sacrifice the pawn, but I opened up his king a little bit in the process, and now I'm threatening to take e6. I decided to guard c2. Just pushing it gets forked. So that was a mistake. It's now even. I want to get his knights out of my territory, so I do that. And then f4 is definitely an inaccuracy. I should have played queen g5, attacking his knight and kind of pinning his bishop to his king. f4, I thought maybe after f5 I get some compensation. I get something going on the king side a bit. b4, he's trying to maybe win a pawn here on the queen side. f5, and yes, he can take d3. And I take e6, and I have to take f7 check here to win the pawn back. Now my queen is attacking his knight, as is the rook, and I really like that my rook has this open e-file. I bring my bishop back to g2 to guard e4, knight e4 was going to be kind of annoying to deal with. He still plays it, which is not that good for him. He just loses a pawn, and then here he just clearly blunders, and as the computer says, that was lucky. He should have probably taken c3. Because after he plays knight e5, it's like just like take it, and it's pinned. He can't move his bishop. And then I'll trade because I'm winning by so much. And I'll pick off his pawns because I'm winning. And a4 was apparently a mistake. I should have played rook f1, but at this point it doesn't matter that much. I saw that he could attack my rook. I can't let him play bishop e3 check, hitting my queen and king, so I block that. I take his pawn. It's so funny seeing all these mistakes, but they're not game-changing mistakes. I get my rook centralized. The check just doesn't do anything. I start bringing my pieces over to his king. Apparently king h2 is much better than king g2, but at this point he's about to resign. He's really low on time here. He resigned here because after something like king h7, I think rook f6 wins. If he takes g5, I just play king f4, and it's really hard for him to defend his open king as well as hold these two bishops. So that was my game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll make more videos in the future. Thanks. Bye.